The vest is good. I need to get my vest back. Oh shit, I got my fucking shirt inside out. No, I definitely look taking off my shirt and look in Texas. In Hawaii, it would be a simple thing. Take off my shirt. Even going like this in Texas, like, you're homeless. What are you doing buttoning your shirt? Homelessy? I had some like frat boys, like I think that they just all of a sudden started talking about homelessness when I was picking up an order. Doing that, but very like low experienced people.
Well, yeah, everybody that delivers food is homeless. Their mommy and daddy cut them off.
That's like their method of thinking. It's 67 degrees. It feels a lot colder. Hi, AK-47, Noah Kimball. About this lovely park. Like I said, it's 67 degrees. It feels a lot colder. It's either super hot or super cold in Texas. In Hawaii, it's like right in the middle. I'm waiting on an order right now for the food delivery app that I've signed up for. But it's 7 a.m. so it's still early. The sun this part of the planet at this time of the year. And I suppose it's a lot cooler to work here. It's benefits to working at night because for me there's less ridicule. Because you see dozens of people with this red backpack and an e-bike like this all around Central Austin. Dozens, maybe more, 100 maybe, and you never really like, oh, you know. But most people, they don't give them a second look. Me, however. And you could say it's for whatever reasons. You could say it's because I'm 45. You could say it's because I'm very tall on a little bike. You could say it's for whatever reason. But it seems to be the biggest deal for many like people with what would be considered low attributes of attractiveness. Put it that way. Yeah. So those characters that were generally deemed unattractive to society, we won't we won't name the groups, but use your imagination. So those groups, male and female, they seem to notice me extra and like seem to like want to get something from it, whereas like they'll drive like right aside me, mocking smile, like in a car, like where I'm like, go, like, or cars are stopped behind them. Actually honking. It's happened multiple times. Cars honking. Or, uh, what's another example? The one guy that pulled over, got out of his truck and started like clapping and laughing. He's like, he was 5 feet tall. He's like, you doing food delivery? But I didn't know him. But he's like, you doing food delivery? I'm like, I don't know you. We don't know each other. No, I know you from my from my thoughts. it's like what he's saying, like, I know you for my insecurities, tall, good-looking, smart man. You know, can't you see I'm 5 feet? It's like I'm sorry, dude. It reminds me like there were a few different classes at the University of Texas. At the UT, I always would sit in the back because I learned really quickly. You know, when you do research on how to be a good college student, it's always like, go sit in front of the classroom, the very front row. Let everybody know, and including the teacher, that you're there for business. You're there to learn, which I was. So I'm like, okay, let's sit in the front. And so I tried sitting in the front. Ooh, bad idea for everybody involved. Because sitting in the front, people are distracted from whatever the teacher is lecturing about, and they're just obsessed with my existence. Me just sitting there. And objective reasoning, it happened on 3 different occasions where I can think of, where the instructor, once it was in a small class of 50 people, I think twice 50 people, 2 different classes, but once it was a photography class of 300 people, and the instructor had to, like, not directly, but be like, hey, you know, I know it's a lot of people, a lot of interesting people in the room, but when I'm talking, please keep your eyes and attention on me, not on anybody else. And they're like they would, and they weren't like staring me adoringly. Some maybe women were, but it was more like a frat boy I've never met, never seen, never heard, didn't know, just standing behind me. And that keeps me up at night. 15 years, 20 years later, I'll wake up in the middle of the night like, why the fuck did that guy hate me so much? You know, what the hell did I do to him? You know, well, that's his memory of me. That guy hated me. He sat behind me just like turning a towel. You know, I mentioned it a little bit in my first book. My first book is all about going to UT Austin. It's called Gonzo Education. Read the reviews. But yeah, it's like I can't see myself through other people's eyes, and so doing this job, apparently, I had no idea it would be such a big deal to particular strangers, like that I've never seen before, never met before, but I guess my type, you know. A lot of recent immigrants do this job, and I'm not a recent immigrant, so I'm trying to give them a benefit of the doubt. Like, I'll write about this one day, and I'll mention how I wore Hyde Park near UT campus, and this one girl was in a truck, and she started pulling up beside me with her friend, and it was just like I was Santa Claus, dressed as Santa or the Easter Bunny, and just like she just thought me on my e-bike was the funniest thing that she'd ever seen in her entire life. And like I said, trying to give her the benefit of the doubt, if I wanted to describe this person that with the window down, like, if I want to describe her at the University of Texas, like somebody that may not be popular in any situation in human history, with a woman with very masculine characteristics. Trying to be PC here. A woman with very masculine characteristics. This happened at UT, and I tried to describe that in my first book as well. This woman that sat behind me in a Spanish class, and she'd always kick my chair and like try to make fun of me in front of other people. And a few of the women liked me in that class, so they were like confused, like how the abomination of nature was trying to like paint an inaccurate picture that I was undesirable or I was the abomination of nature. No, height, strong jawbone. Like I'm attractive to the opposite sex, whereas a very masculine woman isn't. However, in the UT bubble, where I was writing, this individual can be under the perception that she is like hot shit, or she is attractive, and like she had everything, like even like frosted tips on her spiked hair, and you know, strategically placed nose rings, you know, and like a sleeveless shirt, you know, like Hillary, like, you know. But do you understand what I'm saying? Can anybody hear what I'm saying? Do you like smaller, strong? That's fine. No, I'm a complete heterosexual.
West of East 4th Street. Then, in 300 feet.
I mean, I'm a complete heterosexual. But that was a really good explanation that I explained very politically correct. We even had people listening in like, what's going on? I'm curious, Texan. But in that UT blinders that they have on, somebody like that, they don't have the experience to realize, hey, you're going to have a rough time in the world. That's just the way it is. You know, attractive people, they get breaks. Especially with women. If you know, I'm waiting for somebody to come up behind me. Like, I heard what you said. And I think masculine women are beautiful. But yeah, you see that somebody like me that like I was more experienced and more real world smarts than any of those students basically. And so with me, it's just like whoa, you you think you're hot shit, or like you think you're the cool kid in this world, like you're a wake up call eventually, and realize that, you know, so I mean that is a measure of worthiness, whether you like it or not. How attractive are you to the opposite sex? If somebody's like, that's why for me it's just like, yo, like when somebody like that, and that's the type that always gives me shit throughout life. A masculine woman. Like, and also the men that have been giving me shit. It's always like an inexperienced person who obviously lives off their parents.